And then the guy does the
Is
bit.
this it? Bum, bum, bum. Yeah! Friday night. Dun, 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 dun. All right, here we go. Big Friday in the house. Today we got a few new guests. I don't know how we want to introduce it first. I guess we'll start if you cut to the wide angle here.
No wide angle today.
No wide angle. Are you cutting to the couch? We got Curtis and Curtis's girlfriend Cassidy. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
First time on the show. It should be interesting. We also have another first time guest. We got Tanner sitting over here next to Carter. Tanner has been featured on the show. We featured his ski clips, but we figured we'd get him in on the horn tonight. Big Friday night, live show, live episode. We're actually kind of doing this as like a prelude to the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. So if you guys are planning on watching that later, as are some of we.
Fight night.
Fight night. Some of us are planning on watching. I don't know as if I'll bother watching. If I'm being perfectly honest, I don't really care if I'm being Netflix. So basically, if you're what age? Like I think if you're under a certain age, you think of Netflix as being free, right? Because your parents have it. So like for me, Netflix is free. So I think of it as like a gimme. This is like why would I bother? Like if anything exciting happens, I'll see it in TikTok in like 30 seconds after it happens.
Yeah, all the good parts will be on YouTube.
Yeah,
watch a highlight video.
Exactly. Like why would you bother camping out in front of Netflix?
I didn't even know that it was happening at all until he mentioned it. Like last time he was over, I'm so out of touch.
Yeah, I mean it's old news in my opinion. I've heard about it for way too long, and I could not care less. Yeah, I don't know. Tyson, Paul, I don't care.
I think it could be good. It could be entertaining.
How?
It's one of those things that something crazy could happen.
I got your hat. That's Jake Paul. He took Mike Tyson's hat one time.
I saw that they had the Vegas odds predict Jake Paul to win.
Well,
Like
I think there's going to be
Yeah.
But I feel like the only good outcome is if Tyson knocks out Jake Paul. Because like if Jake Paul knocks out Mike Tyson, who's like 60
Right.
or something, like does that really look good on Jake Paul?
That's my thought exactly.
That's elder abuse.
Yeah, you could not have explained that better. I just don't care about it personally. Not interested.
There's no way. Like I feel like it has to be somewhat scripted. Like
Or something, right? Like, how are they going to make it entertaining if it's
Yeah.
not scripted? What's going to be the entertainment value?
yeah.
I don't know.
Just a cash grab.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Just a cash grab.
Yeah, but if Netflix didn't offer to pay for this shit, is anyone buying that pay-per-view? How many people are actually going to buy that pay-per-view?
I think that's why it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I completely agree. Netflix is now like kind of like what? I don't know. They're like the B League.
They're expanding their game though. They had the Tom Brady roast on Netflix.
They did have the Tom Brady roast, which I would say was probably the biggest event in comedy of my lifetime. Like, I haven't seen anything.
It's probably one of the biggest live events in our lifetime in general.
Yeah, maybe period. Like, as far as like people commenting about it, like everybody saw the roast. You know what I mean? At least everybody I've talked to, they saw it or they saw some part of it. It seemed to reach out of the bounds of the Kill Tony and New England Patriots audience. It seemed to reach a lot bigger audience than that. So.
And was that streamed? Was that live?
That was live on Netflix, yeah.
Because I mean, same vein. Like, why not just wait and watch it when it's not midnight?
Right. Well, I did that for the Tom Brady roast, and apparently I missed out because they ended up editing it after the fact. So if you had seen it live, you got to see a lot more than what is on there now. So
now you're making the case though to watch the Jake Paul fight, because what happens if they edit out?
If you really care, right? Like I probably should have watched the Tom Brady roast live because I'm a big Kill Tony fan. I'm a big fan of most of the comedians that were there. So for that reason, I probably should have watched. But, guys, we're not sponsored by Pepsi. It just happens that we're always drinking it. That's not a sponsor.
Yeah, I've noticed Carter get the shot in there a couple of podcasts. Nice crack. And
Yeah.
faces it towards the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
That's one of the things Colin said to me was he's like, can't believe the Pepsi lasted the whole episode.
Your
It
family
did,
should
but-
be sponsored by Pepsi.
we
by
could
now, though.
we should
really.
be. Well, you know what would be at least nice? Like, remember how like Marlboro cigarettes used to do like Marlboro miles? And you could
Marlboro points.
Yeah, you could redeem them for stuff. Like, Pepsi did that for a minute. I remember Carter got a hat that he ended up losing at the lake. Remember this?
Yeah.
They did do it for a minute.
You lost. I didn't know you lost it at the lake.
I'm still pissed about it.
Yeah, hey, that's what you
What
get,
hap-
man. He's tried to be nice to a blonde chick, lost his hat. That's man.
Yeah.
be careful.
I honestly can't even remember why, but I gave it to Morgan and she wore it and left it on the
Dude, we
wall.
were
and
on the
got,
boat,
got in the
on
water.
the sandbar, on the lake. Like like you could lose your own hat on the lake. Why would you give it to somebody else and expect them to not lose it? Like I don't know. On the lake, that's where shit
Yeah,
goes
especially
missing.
a nice hat like that.
Yeah,
Was it? You could have probably redeemed for another one though if you cared that much. The time.
No, because it was gone.
It was like
over.
a limited run. It was
Oh,
only
really?
for like 3 months they were even doing it. But yeah, if they were doing like Pepsi points, if we could redeem it, that'd be pretty cool. We'd have some more cool swag. I do have a Pepsi sweater I bought at Target years ago. That goes pretty hard.
Might be able to find it on eBay.
I've looked.
Yeah.
I've tried to either at least get a similar hat.
It was a nice.
Can't-
It was a
can't-
nice Pepsi
Can't
trucker
find
hat
any.
too.
Yeah. I can't even find it. Like you think that I could find a listing for the hat that I bought, but
Yeah. No, it's crazy.
or the hat that I redeemed points for.
Who was it that used to race the Pepsi car for NASCAR? Do you guys remember? I feel like I see those hats for sale.
I'm only a Gordon fan.
Jeff Gordon guy.
I'm not sure.
I'm not that into racing, but I feel like that's the only time I see like Pepsi, like a lot of Pepsi merch is like for NASCAR. I've seen NASCAR Pepsi, but yeah. Anyway, R.I.P. to Carter's hat. I'm quite the hat collector. I actually bought a hat today up at Ski Works, and
You went to Ski Works today?
yeah, I was up in the area and I swung in, and they didn't really have anything else really
Did
to
they
look
have
at. but
anything in the store at all?
They did, but as
must
far
have-
as like ski equipment, like if you're going for like a new helmet or new pants or jacket, they had it. But like as far as like skis and boots, didn't look like a ton of selection.
I'm surprised they had any stock at all there because last time I was there, they had squat.
No, they actually had plenty of. Well, like I always like looking at the hats in there. I feel like they always have a bunch of different hats. They had trucker hats, winter hats. I ended up coming home with a K2, with the winter ski cap with the little pom pom on top. Thought it was pretty good, so I came home with that today.
The ear flaps, is that what you're talking about?
No, it's like the Tom Brady style of hat with the pom pom on top. Tom Brady, I would say, really popularized
Oh, like a
that in our
beanie.
time. Yeah, well, when I think of a beanie, I don't think of the one with the pom pom, right? The beanie is just the winter hat with the fold, no pom pom. I don't know what you'd call the pom pom style of hat other than the Tom Brady style is what I would call it. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like he brought that style of hat back from the grave.
You think Tom Brady wore a pom pom hat?
100% he brought that hat back, and if you don't believe it, there's a joke about it on SNL. SNL made a parody of Tom Brady for deflating the footballs. In that episode, they make a comment about how Tom brought that hat back. He's like, yeah, it is vintage. In case you're wondering, that's what he says in the skit. It's not actually Tom Brady, but that's how much he brought it back. That SNL thought it was worthy to include in the skit. So I feel justified in saying Tom Brady brought that particular style of hat back myself.
I like a good pom pom hat. I also like those hats with like the flaps that come down. You can button them up.
Yeah, like the Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
I think it's called like a trapper cap or a hunting cap.
I've been looking for a good one of those.
Catcher in the Rye. Cassidy, you're more intelligent than I. You must have read Catcher in the Rye at some point.
Actually, that's one of the ones that I did not in high school.
Oh,
Anything
really?
that was required reading.
Tanner, Catcher in the Rye?
Myself.
Maybe I don't remember.
Holden Caulfield. He's famous for that. He's famous for that style of hat in the book. It's part of the book. You know, I've read like 5 odd books throughout my life. Right, everyone hits Green Eggs and Ham at some point. Make your way to Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Then I read Huck Finn and Catcher in the Rye. That's pretty much all I've read.
What was the name of that book that we read with Mom? That skier that caught in that avalanche. Do you remember that book?
I do. I know what you're talking about. I think we listened to it on tape. I can't.
Did we?
I can't
I thought we
remember.
read it.
I can't. Well,
I thought that was a group read.
Somebody read it to me.
Mom read it for us.
Yeah, somebody read it to me. I certainly did not read it. But yeah, I remember this kid was stuck in an avalanche and he was eating a handful of snow a day. He was making hash marks in the snowbank to see how many days he'd been there. And finally got rescued. I don't know. It was a lame book. This kid was fucking stuck in a snowbank for a while. I was not. You know what I did like, though? There's a book about a kid that gets lost in New Hampshire in the mountains. Do you remember that one?
No.
That's where I learned the word dungaree. Anyone know what dungarees are?
You're wearing them.
Tanner knows, my man. Good old-fashioned denim jeans. Those are known as
people that
dungarees.
don't know what that means?
Yeah, there are. And I didn't know until we were reading this book, and this kid said how he wore his dungarees, and he thought it would be a good choice, but it was not because it was cold and wet, and of course they're made of cotton.
And what else happens?
But wait, how old were you when you read the book? That no one knew what dungarees were.
Oh, this was
Was this
great.
like
This,
age 12
no,
or like
no, no,
2
no.
months ago?
No, younger than 12. So do you guys remember when Grandpa Bob was building his pool?
Yeah, I mean,
That's about the time we read this because Uncle Dick was over there working on the pool and it was hot out. And somebody said, ask Uncle Dick what dungarees are because that's all he wears.
So that probably explains why no one knew what they were.
Yeah. We were just really young, I guess. But I'd never heard that before, and I always remember it. And I also remember the kid, he ended up finding a gunny sack. I don't even know what the fuck a gunny sack is, other than it's like a burlap sack. But he wore it over his body and looked through a little hole in it to keep the mosquitoes off him. But yeah, that word gunny sack was burned into my head after that book.
I don't remember that one. I remember the one where
It's
the kid.
called like Lost in the Mountains or something. Lost on a Mountain in Maine is actually the name of it. I just remembered.
I don't think I ever heard that book. Or
We
read that book.
listened to that on tape. You might not have. I don't know, but I did.
I don't remember that one. I remember one where a kid hollowed out a tree with a hatchet.
The Giving Tree.
I don't know. For some reason I think he hollowed out the tree and lived inside the tree.
I don't know that
Is
one.
this fictional?
James and the
Well,
Giant
yeah.
Peach. James and the Giant Peach.
None of them are true stories.
Not the one about the kid lost in the mountain. That's not a true.
No,
story.
that is a true story.
Oh.
I was
Lost
gonna say
Lost on a
for it
Mountain
to be
in
like
Maine.
specifically in Maine.
Yeah, no, it's a totally true story. They were hiking Katahdin to some shit and got lost. But
Speaking of mountain in Maine, are you excited for ski season?
well, if you notice on the wall right behind Cassidy's head, I got a new pair of Rosignol's hanging on the wall there. Excited to break those babies in.
It's a yellow pair. The camera makes it look like it's the blue pair.
Yeah, they're really like black and tan. But you know,
Neon green.
Rosignol, they're French brand. Shout out to my old race mate Cal. He was the one that told me all about them. He's a big Rosignol guy. So when I saw these are the Rosignol Black Ops. I was like, oh shit.
Are you sticking with the same setup this year, Tanner? Are you gonna get some new skis?
I really thought about buying new ones, but I think I'm gonna hold out one more year.
Cheapskate.
You
I'm
know,
definitely gonna get J skis again though.
Yeah.
Shout
The-
out J skis.
Jay Skis, if you're watching, if you want to sponsor the pod, we'd love to do a ski dedicated show. We could do like one day a week, just talk about skiing. Jay Skis are out of Vermont, right?
Yep, Burlington, Vermont. Shout
so,
out
you know-
Jason Leventhal.
Yeah, we're not
Guy
too far
emails
away.
me all the time.
We're not too far away. So if you guys need somebody to review stuff, talk about what's going on in the ski world, let us know. Be more than happy to help you guys. I'm sure you guys are desperate for the help.
They've come out with a couple new models since I bought my last ones. The ones I have now are the Master Blasters. They're kind of like the all mountain. kind of ski, and I don't think they make those anymore. And they've come out with a new line, but they keep improving their stuff.
They do. It seems like it gets, or you know what I would say, like the first couple people I saw that had J skis, they didn't last very long.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's changed. You know, like now I see them like pretty well abused, and people are still running them.
That was really a thing that they were
I don't know.
chintzy skis.
I
to
don't
start
think they
with.
were ever chintzy though.
I'm not saying they were chintzy. I'm just saying they.
Mar-
You know, it was a small brand, so you didn't see them that often. But when you did, I often saw them in pretty tough shape.
Well,
and
people probably beat them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it was because the people that were buying them early on were the people that were hardcore, and that had something to do with it. But no, I feel like they've come a long way in terms of like doing collaborations and different things. You know, they had a PBR ski. I mean, that's can you go much higher than that?
That's peak.
That's peak. So
Yeah, no, they do a lot of artist collabs too, and I think it's cool.
yeah,
It is tough to not want to buy the different skis when they come out with their different graphics.
yeah,
Like,
oh, yeah.
They're limited too. They get you.
Yeah.
Well, and then they're cool. I mean, look at this friggin' wall we got. I mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I mean, if you're gonna spend like $500 to $800 on skis, why not make them look cool, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, exactly. Well, and honestly, like, you know, I don't hate the way those Rosignol's look, but it
Yeah,
is
they got a
kind of
cool-
plain. But it's kind of plain, right? It doesn't got an elephant sitting on top of floating trash, you know.
They tried.
It's more tasteful, maybe. You know, if you're like a multi-millionaire, if you're some sort of business mogul.
Yeah.
Um,
I would like to. I want to get a pair of some real good carving skis just for groomers, because I mean, once in a while you get a good crud cutter type of day around here, but it's
Oh,
not very often.
I feel like we're getting more and more of those
Yeah.
as we go on.
yeah, honestly, one of my favorite skis still, like, unless there's a lot of fresh snow on the ground, I really like my their Vocal slalom skis, Race Tigers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I bought those freshman year of college for race team, and had them for Jesus, like 6 or 7 years now.
They're
But
fun though.
no, they're great. They're great skis, and they turn like nothing. You know what I mean? Like, you can get humming down the hill, like going crazy fast, and you just,
Makes you feel like invincible.
yeah, no, you feel like a god.
Yeah. And
but
then you hit a patch of ice and it's like brings you right back.
Well, you know, I keep those things like, you know, those
Oh, you
things
just
are like
slice through
weapons.
the ice?
Yeah, those things are weapons. So those things will cut through the ice. That's usually what I use them for, is on the shitty icy days. Really, is when they get out. Last winter, I was up in Vermont at Sugarbush, and we had plenty of snow, and so I was out on Carter's old Fisher Rangers almost every day. And I broke the edge off by the end of the season. But then it was springtime and there's rocks showing, and I was like, screw it, I'm gonna keep running them, because those are light. You know what I mean? And I was trying to take flight this winter,
Trying to get some air.
trying to get off the ground. So that's where the slalom skis do not go. They're heavy. You know, they keep you on the ground, and I
Yeah,
mean,
they
you-
don't flex much.
No.
They got a lot of metal. And
Yeah, they're heavy duty skis, but the old the Fisher Rangers, they're actually designed for trekking, and so they're super light, and that's what I ended up really liking about them. So, you know, in comparison, ski a couple days on the slalom ski, then you get out there on the Ranger, you feel like you're made of air and you just fucking fly. But good stuff.
Cassidy's never been skiing before.
Uh-oh, what are you gonna do about that?
Nothing.
Nothing. Nothing.
He tells me I need to. My sister, so growing up, it was always, it's too much money. There's too many of you. We can't afford to take you all skiing. And then, of course, the baby of the family grows up. And what's the first thing she does? Oh, Jennifer, you want to join the ski team?
Of course. Of course.
So she has started skiing, and now she's like, you have to go. But I don't know.
You don't know. Well,
It's just
the
so
oldest?
expensive to get into, and everything that this one has me getting into is so expensive to get into.
you know what though? The thing is, so I'm a big believer in when it comes to anything outdoors and anything like outdoor sport related. There's a phrase called "earn your gear," right? So like we have free equipment that has been sitting in our basement in our garage for years. We could get you on the hill for free. It's not going to cost you anything.
Yeah,
Except
that's
for the
what I
lift
said.
ticket.
Well, and you can go someplace
$100.
and you don't have to. You don't
Yeah,
have to go anywhere.
Yeah, I know a few people. We can get you on the hill for free. It's not hard. I've got plenty of access. I know how to get us. So that's like a thing in the outdoor community. Like if you're one of these people that goes skiing once a year and you show up to the hill in all brand new stuff, it's like come on, man. Like you're kind of like
You can tell.
You can tell, and it's almost like. Well, I don't know. What's your opinion on that, Tanner? Let me hear your thoughts.
I think
because
it's a little cringy.
cringy. Thank you. That's the perfect way to put it. Because why are you gonna go spend? You know how many thousands of dollars this shit costs, and they come out one day a year. It's like I would be embarrassed to be that, right? I would not feel good about myself if that was me. Although maybe it comes from a place of jealousy, right? Because I skied every day last winter on Carter's used broken skis. The only thing new I bought was boots, and I wore my Duluth coveralls and whatever hoodie I had on. You know what I mean? Like
Well, the
Pay to win, Colin said.
pay to win. Yeah, that's
Or
you know.
pay to look good.
Well, I would also say my friends in the racing community, they would say things like, in terms of racing, like your gear, if you had the newest, freshest, most top of the line gear, that could make the difference in terms of a race. Is what my
But they're
friends
doing it
used to
for
say.
a different reason, though.
But yeah, exactly. That's a separate thing. That's competition. You know, it's a different. It's not. You know, me. I'm all about the mountain. I'm out there. I'm out to be one with nature.
Real
and-
mountain man.
Yeah. So,
I thought we'd go to KP or McIntyre this year, and
McIntyre's good.
yeah,
That's close to you two.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and your mom already said, she was like, I'd be really good for you to learn with because these guys go too fast.
our mom is yeah, she would be good to ski with for a beginner, because although our mom has skied for 20 plus years, she still skis like more beginner level skier, just because that's more her pace. That's more what she enjoys. She's not there to bomb down the hill. She just wants to get out and
just likes the pizza.
yeah, enjoy the scenery and but yeah, anyway, so it is a big endeavor in terms of something you've never done before, if you want to get into it or not.
You
But
can always rent, too. You don't have to spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
Figure it out if you like it or not.
Well, that's plan A, is see if I like it or not.
Yeah.
Start there.
start there. I would say I've learned so I'll be honest, I don't always put a helmet on when I'm out there on the hill. Rebel,
Tough guy.
tough guy, I'm a badass. What can I say? I don't put on band-aids when I get cut either. I just bleed all over my clothes 'cause I'm sick.
It's a little gross.
But no, it's badass. But yeah, no. So I don't always put on a helmet, but I'm experienced, right? I'm not a newbie, and certainly I would recommend anybody that has not been on skis before to put on a helmet, because I've just been with other people that that aren't that experienced, and they see me not wearing a helmet, and they're like, oh, like maybe I shouldn't wear a helmet, and they take their helmet off, and I've even said to these people, I'm like, you should probably put that back on, like no offense, but you're not me, right? and honestly, that's just the truth. So
Colin has another good point, that normally your hair is long enough to soften the fall.
yeah, certainly last winter it was. I had so much goddamn hair on my head, you couldn't fit a helmet over it. So,
I think everybody should wear a helmet skiing.
and that's fair. And that's fair.
I got concussed once when I was wearing my helmet. And so I think I'll always wear a helmet skiing.
Fair enough.
But that's a personal experience that I had.
Well, and that's what I would say. Like I'm saying, across the board, I'd recommend people wear them. For me personally, I like the threat of death. I think that's part of it.
I do enjoy seeing how fast you can go down the mountain and just be on the edge of control. Feel like at any moment you could fly off into the woods, but you got it under control.
Yeah.
Well, honest to God, that is part of it for me. It's the thrill, right? When I'm going through the trees and if I don't duck this branch, it's gonna fucking take me out, right? Like that's part of what I like, right?
Yeah, there's very few things where you can go as fast as you want under your own power,
Yep.
and you just going.
You just go. You just cruise.
There's
you
not
cook.
many things like that.
I don't think there's hardly anything like that because, you know, like what else can you do where it's, you know, like if you're skiing on fresh snow and it's that quiet, you know, and you just get cruising through the snow and it's quiet and you're flying.
When it's snowing, it's actively snowing. That's when it's quiet. When there's just spitting a little bit of snow and
It's,
there's just a little bit.
It's something else. It's and you know, for me, I have worn a helmet. I've done it intermittently here and there, but it just doesn't do anything for me personally. I don't enjoy it. I don't like it. You know, I always say I guess more or less safety third, right? Look good, feel good, be safe. I don't know if that's how that goes, but no, I mean, be safe out there. Wear your helmet. If you're a kid and your brain's still growing, certainly wear your helmet. If you're gonna try anything crazy, wear a helmet. Like if I was gonna try something nuts, if I was gonna go out in the terrain park and try and slide a rail again, which I probably will never try again. But if I ever were to try it again, I'd put my helmet on. You know, like
Yeah, I avoid rails. I got nothing to prove.
yeah, you
Gonna
know,
avoid them.
I appreciate that sentiment because I hurt myself pretty bad last winter
Yeah.
sliding a culvert. It wasn't even a full rail.
Did you try to do the terrain park?
This was in our backyard at our apartment, and I hurt myself wicked bad.
Yeah. Well, it was they were having a fire or something, and they were skiing.
We were just hanging out in the backyard. We had built a terrain park in the backyard, and Ryder was going crazy. Calvin wasn't even home yet, but Ryder was going crazy, and I was like, "Yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna try it." And I actually, so it was like, I don't remember now. I don't remember if it was the culvert thing or the rail, but whatever it was, I slid it nice, right? Like it was okay. But the transition from the rail to the ground was not okay. And I got all twisted up and I couldn't walk for like a day and a half. Like it was bad. I had to go up a flight of stairs and a ladder to get to my bed. This was an issue.
Yeah, rails aren't friendly if you mess up. And
No,
it's
they're
wicked
not.
easy to mess up.
Yeah, I'm over that.
When we were I think we were skiing at Keystone, and Calvin was hyping me up to do a rail, and I said, all right, I'll do it. And it was one of those rails that is built into the snow. It's like this. It's like 6 inches out of the snow. Everyone else goes down, and I said, all right, I can do this. I go up, slide a little bit, fall on top of the rail. My skis are twisted up, and I'm stuck on this rail, like just flailing around because my skis were stuck, and I couldn't even get off it. And it was one of the most embarrassing experiences
Yeah,
ever.
it's very humbling.
Especially then because especially then a 5-year-old kid comes flying down right after you and grinds the rail, and you're like, what the hell?
I feel like there's something that I'm missing. Anytime I go to do a rail, like you'd think you just would slide so easy, but anytime
so
I get on there, everybody I see do it, they just go right across the slide. But anytime I jump on the rail, it's like my skis stop dead, and they stick to the rail.
It's actually the opposite for me.
It's
Every
the total
time I
opposite.
slide
You actually
out,
slide a lot faster. It's just like slipping on ice. If you ever slipped on ice, it's that's what Calvin even says to practice. He says, go out with your shoes on, find a patch of ice, you know, and get a running start, and then slide horizontal on the patch of ice. He said it's a similar feeling.
It's definitely something you have to like unlock.
Yeah,
It doesn't
well,
just
it is, right?
happen.
And like Calvin and Ryder are so good at it. They make it look so easy. Like I'm watching them hit kinked rails, like rails that like are multi-tiered, like crazy stuff. And then they're adding tricks to that, right? Like they're not just hitting the rail; they're doing other shit too. And they make it look so easy. I'm like, yeah, fuck it, yeah, I can do that, right? No.
Maybe I'll give it one more try this year and try to slide it like it's sliding on
Make
ice.
sure you got insurance before that.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna give up on the rails.
The thing you got to remember too, like Calvin and Ryder were practicing that stuff when they were like 14, 15 years old, right? Huge difference. Like like no, I wouldn't say any of us are old, right? But I would say like we're all like pretty much past the point of like where your body's gonna like spring. Like you'll recover, but you're not gonna hit the ground and bounce off of it like rubber. You know what I mean? When you're 14, 15 years old, you're still pliable, you're still growing, you know what I mean?
You're fearless.
You're also have a little bit more
Yeah, like we all have
fearlessness.
jobs, and you gotta wake up in the morning and go to work.
And I'll be perfectly honest. After my big slam, after I fell off that one rail, right? That's why it was so scary to me because I'm like, fuck, I have to work tomorrow, right? Luckily, it wasn't until 2 p.m, so I had like most of the day to recover and figure out how to walk again. But I showed up to work limping, and Terry goes, "What the fuck happened to you?" And I said, Terry, I was trying to be cool. I hit a rail and it didn't go so well." And he goes, "Hey, stay sharp out there, champ. We need you this winter." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right. It's too early for that." And anyway, so yeah, I don't think I'll do it again. But never say never, I guess.
Do you think we're gonna get any snow this year?
Honestly, I don't fucking care. Every
looking
mountain
pretty
I've been to, every mountain I've been to makes all their own snow. And actually, little shout out to Gunstock, our home mountain. They're going to be making snow on Hot Shot this year, which is my favorite trail. So you better believe you'll see me ripping down Hot Shot this winter.
Did they build a new lodge over there?
They did build some new stuff. I haven't been over to see it. I've actually been meaning to go over. I think like December. I want to say maybe December 6th. Maybe they're projected to open, or December 15. Maybe I'm not exactly sure. I can't remember the day, but early December they're planning on opening. And
Are they making snow now?
I saw pictures the other day. They were making snow. I don't know how much they've got, but they were making snow the other day.
It's cold enough.
Yeah, it's been cold enough. There was frost this morning. We've had other cold nights, so. But yeah, I've been meaning to get over there to see what the parking lot and the new lodge looks like, because probably like 2 winters ago, our mom's friend got hit by a car in the parking lot because the parking lot was so icy. This car tried to slow down, but they just kept sliding. And our mom's friend was standing outside her car door taking pictures of the mountain. And this car came sliding into the side of her car door and just like crunched this woman between her car and the car door by another car.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember because she broke her leg. She had to get surgery.
Her leg was all messed up because it got
really?
really friggin' crunched by this door.
Yeah, like where the door. She was standing on the ground and the door closed and like smashed her leg between the door and the rocker panel.
Yeah, pretty horrific. But that was over at Gunstock. Shout out to Gunstock. Love that place. One of my home mountains.
I remember.
Shout out Moose Mountain in the comments.
Oh, they got us playing live. Hey, check it out, Moose Mountain. Shout out, playing us live at the lodge. Yeah, we are locally famous. You know, unfortunately, we don't have any like viewership. So, you know, someday if you guys want to, how many fucking people are watching? What do we got here?
We get three people watching.
Hey, 3 people. Hey.
To be fair, we are fighting one of the biggest fights of the year right now. So.
Oh, did it start? Did that start?
Yeah,
Well,
it started, it started
the
at 8.
Hey, listen.
the main card started at 8. The
If
Tyson
you want to
fight's not
watch
going yet.
Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fist each other, that's fine. Just have us playing on the side. You know, I got to turn us off to turn them on. What's so funny? What did I miss? No, I think that's really cool. I think it's really cool to watch a 20-something-year-old and a 60-something-year-old fist each other for a live event. I think that's really cool.
Apparently, a lot of other people do think it's pretty cool.
I just wish I could be sitting right there watching it happen.
Live on the floor. I want to get splattered by their sweat during this fisting. Hey, I'm really glad. I really hope we're still live down at Moose. I hope you guys still playing this at the bar.
Why did they say they were going to?
I heard they might. Yeah.
Oh.
No, I was there. I was there last weekend, and there's nobody there. It was just me and the band. It was this old couple, a woman and a guy playing a guitar, and they were playing all kinds of good stuff. But I was literally the only one there, so It wasn't long, and I freaking just joined him on the mic.
Is
and-
it a bar or a speakeasy? Because I feel like they don't advertise enough.
Oh man, you gotta get on the web, man. You gotta get on the book, the good book, the Facebook.
I see him on Facebook all
They're
the time.
all the time,
actually.
and actually, they got merch. And actually, that's what I should have done. I actually thought about getting a sweatshirt while I was there. I should have got it and wore it on the pod. But hey, Moose, if you guys are still listening, shout out and give me a free hoodie and I'll wear it on the pod.
Speaking of skiing, they should reopen their skiing.
That would be
That'd be
A
hard.
tier. Yeah, it's hard to do it. You're essentially starting from scratch, right? Like you'd have to. I don't think any of the infrastructure is there for a ski area at the moment. But
Yeah, we're not getting a lot of snow either.
I heard they were gonna open Mount Whittier though.
Oh, in Ossipee or Tamworth?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Imagine though.
Isn't that the one in Tamworth?
Yeah.
By McDonald's.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
would be cool.
It would be cool.
The whole mountain's been for sale for a long time.
Yeah.
John always had dreams of buying the mountain and turning it into a bike park.
It's cool. Hey, shout out John, our mountain biking friend. He's also a rock climber. If we ever get into a rock climbing special, we'd love to get him on. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Ski season is right around the corner, but at some point I got to fix my leg. I've got a loose leg right now.
Are you
And,
actually gonna get it fixed?
I've got an MRI on Saturday, so we'll see what they tell me.
What's wrong with you?
My lateral meniscus is fried, cooked, chop suey. Done.
Tomorrow you get a MRI?
Tomorrow's Saturday, so yeah. Saturday. I was supposed to be on Wednesday, but there was no technician available. Apparently nobody could fucking flip a switch and press a button. Pretty sure I could have done it myself. I could have pressed all the buttons and then climbed on the tray, gone in
Let me
the
get
oven
in
and come
there.
out. Yeah, I mean it's like right. Isn't it like a giant microwave? What is an MRI? Magnets?
I've never done one.
Magnets. They told me to take out my cock ring, so be careful.
I had to
I'm
have
just-
one done on my shoulder, but it's just loud. That's not. It's boring. Loud.
Is it the one that the thing you go in like the tube? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I have
Yeah,
one.
and you have to just lay there. They're like, we can give you some headphones and like a radio station if you want, because you can't bring like obviously Bluetooth or anything in there. So they give you like the worst radio station ever and the worst headphones that like barely cover. It doesn't even cover the noise of like how loud.
Yeah, they were playing the Black Eyed Peas when I was in there, and I'm trying to remember what verse it was. It was like just as Fergie was coming on. People in the place, if you wanna get down, throw your hands in the air. And then it cut out because the MRI started and it was too loud. But it was just getting to the good part.
As you're getting x-rayed and fried. There's still
Moose Mountain's trying to bargain through the chat. Hey, hey, I only bargain in person. All right. What do you take me for? Some kind of cheap internet influencer? Come on now, I've got integrity.
You got what? What'd you
I've
say?
got integrity.
Oh, I take it.
No, I'm just kidding. I'll take a T-shirt. Thank you.
I've been in one of those MRI machines. They're pretty comfortable.
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 You lay there. You just lay down and you go.
Is it not like really cold?
Brrr. Actually, when I went, I was sweating.
Ooh.
Did you have to have
So-
the dye?
Yeah.
That's probably because I feel like they say like you feel cold if you don't do the dye, but that the dye makes you like sweat.
Yeah. It
What's
also
the
makes you
dye?
have to
I
pee.
didn't even know about the dye.
Yeah, it's like for certain things they have to. I don't know what exactly it
Is something you, like,
dyes,
drink?
but they inject. It's an injection.
They inject you with something.
Well, you have an IV, and they put.
Oh God.
It's when I
Caleb's
had
gonna cancel his appointment.
I had an IV, and they inject you with the dye, and
Okay.
it starts at your. Well, for me, it was like a
it
wave.
starts in your toes.
Yeah. It was-
Come on,
Maybe you'll
nose.
get that song.
Yeah, maybe you will. It started in my toes and like slowly went from my toes to the top of my head. This wave of warm. It was the weirdest
I've
sensation.
heard people say it feels like you're peeing your pants, and it becomes very alarming. Like,
Oh God.
Yeah,
You're-
Oh
the
Christ.
woman told me. She said, "You might pee your pants. It's normal."
Oh my god.
I had to piss so bad when I went in there. I was like, "Don't pee yourself. Don't pee yourself."
No, I thankfully I had an MRI done on my knee before, and I did not have to. And they didn't juice me up with nothing. I just laid in the thing and listened to Black Eyed Peas, and that was that. So, but yeah, I mean, we'll see about ski season. I'm excited.
Tanner, there you got the Indy Pass this year. Is there any mountains that you're excited to try out that you haven't gone to before?
Yeah, there's a couple in Maine. Saddleback in Maine, which opened up
Yeah,
again,
just recently,
a
right?
couple of years ago.
Yeah, they
I think right
reopened.
after COVID.
Yeah.
So they got new owners, and it is pretty far.
Yeah.
But
Didn't Donnie Pelletier do an ad for him?
yeah,
Yeah.
Like, come to Saddleback.
I think he does all the Maine mountains.
He's
That's where he's from, right? He's
Yeah, I
from-
think so.
Yeah.
Or that's like the character. Donnie's also a King Pine guy. He's usually at the corn shuck every year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, King
Yeah.
Pine corn shuck.
I like his snow reports that we give every now and again. But some in Vermont, the ones in New Hampshire, they got Cannon, which is probably the best.
yeah.
They got Waterville Valley, another good one. Black Mountain,
Yeah.
which you're wearing the t-shirt
Yeah.
for.
Yep.
We all thought they were gonna close.
I know. Yeah, who was it
But,
that bailed them out? Was that Indy Pass that bailed them out?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
whoever owns Indy Pass, they like helped them out, and
Yeah.
it's gonna turn into a co-op next year.
Hmm.
So if you wanna be a part owner
Part owner.
of Black Mountain,
Get in on the ground floor of Black Mountain.
get in on it.
Yeah.
That is like a dream of mine. Is
Yeah,
to
for
own
sure.
a ski resort. I feel like that'd be.
I wonder
Good time.
what benefits would come with joining the co-op, or if it would just be hell.
I think if you owned enough percentage, you probably get on a board, right?
I would think so.
You probably get to be a board member.
Yeah, you get
Feel
like
big
ski
decisions.
passes and stuff.
Of course you get whatever you fucking want. If you own enough. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
like a 5%er, probably not, but 15, 20, oh yeah.
You're probably looking at 0.5%, really.
If you're
Half
lucky.
a percent. Yikes. What's the
yeah.
point of that?
Feel good about
That's like a-
supporting your local.
Ah, fuck that.
Yeah, it's probably a lot. It's,
I'll hike there and I'll ski for
You
free.
get a 25% discount on your season pass.
it's probably really brutal unless you put a lot of money into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, some in Vermont. I don't know if you've heard of Magic Mountain.
I've heard of it. I've never been. I've seen they got like a little wizard.
Yeah, they get
Magic Mountain.
that's on there. Suicide 6, which is now called Saskadina 6.
Right.
Where's that?
It's somewhere in Vermont.
Huh,
I
haven't even heard of
actually
that
haven't
one.
heard of that one. Yeah.
There's
That's
another
funny.
one up. I think J Peak's on there.
Oh, really?
Um,
I'd love to get back up to JP.
Are you gonna do day trips to all these places? Or are you gonna?
I think so because I don't want to spend money. But some of these places are far.
You know
Like,
what we should think about? So we've been talking about this for a while. So if people didn't know, a couple days ago we had Carter's fiance on the episode for the Zach Bryan commentary. So it would only lead to suggest that Carter is getting married soon, right? The mere fact
Yeah.
the mere fact that he has a fiance would suggest he's getting married soon. So we would talk about Carter's bachelor party. What about Jay Peak? Go up there.
Oh,
They got
yeah.
an indoor water park. We're right on the border of Canada. Could be a good time.
I've never been. I've always wanted to go. I've heard they're like. I mean, you've been.
Yeah.
They're almost like isolated.
Yeah,
On like
it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and they're like way higher in elevation, so they get all the snow.
They call it the J Cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would like to check that out.
Yeah, I had a good time. I got to go there 2 times with the NEC ski team when I was racing with them, and the one of the times we were there, it was like early in the season and the conditions were rough. They don't have a lot of snowmaking, if I recall. There, it's pretty natural. But then the second time I went, it was raining at the bottom and snowing at the top, and so the conditions were much better. But yeah, I mean, indoor water park. It's pretty awesome. Nice hotel.
It's a big mountain too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, big. So because I was there with the race team, we were practicing. So I only got to do a couple trails because we were, trying to practice. But I didn't get to explore hardly half the mountain when I was there.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I'd love to get back there. They also had Led Zeppelin played a concert there in the 70s.
It's random.
at J Peak in Vermont. Yeah, Shred Zeppelin. They sell all kinds of merchandise. Yeah, fun fact.
I saw Saddleback Mountain the other day too. I thought that would be a good place to
Make
go.
a trip,
Yeah.
make a pilgrimage.
It's up by Sugarloaf, I think.
Yeah.
Up in that area.
It's, they're like 50 miles apart or something though, because that was what the
Right.
Donnie Pelletier video was.
He was
that
like,
made
he
for
was like,
Saddleback.
turn left to go to Sugarbush.
Yeah, it was
turn
like-
right, head up to
He's
Saddleback.
like it was like the decision everybody has to make or something like that. There's a split. And
Fork
you
in
go-
the road.
Fork in the road. You go one way, you get to Sugarloaf, and you go the other way, you get to Saddleback.
I've been to
Yeah, same.
Sugarloaf, but I've
Northern
never been
Maine.
to Saddleback, so I think that'd be a cool trip.
Yeah, the Indy
Gordon's.
Pass is. I think they might have sold out now. They came back.
Yeah, I saw it. I almost bought one, but really Cannon Mountain, like any of the local mountains, or Black Mountain, I was thinking would be the only ones that I would really
Yeah.
definitely go to get the money's worth. And you can only go 2 times for each
Yeah.
mountain.
Yeah.
So
Gordon's a big Cannon guy.
Gordon.
that's why I thought the Epic 7-day pass was the best, because if you get 7 days for $350.
That's really good.
So
This was the Indy?
no, that's Epic
7-day
Pass.
Oh,
Epic.
Epic 7-day Epic Pass.
7-day Epic. Hey, it sucks you only go to Wildcat or Attitash, but
Yeah.
at least they're cheap days.
Yeah, well, it's at a certain point. If you want to get out, it's better. It's better to just end up buying something, because I feel like if you buy something, then you feel obligated to use it and you'll get out.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
you just say, oh, I'll just wait and see, then you might not go at all.
That's true. I mean, the Indy Pass was like 500. Was that what it was?
I got it kind of early on, and I think it was 400,
That's a really good deal.
and that
Yeah,
was the no blackout date.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And yeah, I'm hoping it forces me to try different places.
Because
Yeah.
it's 2 days. It's 2 days at every mountain, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's 2 days, and then I think the third day is like half off or something.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, that's a good deal. I really feel like I got spoiled last winter living at Sugarbush, and it's hard to want to like drive all over hell to go to different places.
Yeah.
When I had the dream.
Well, we'll probably end up skiing over at Abenaki quite a bit this year. I've never actually skied Abenaki.
I've never been myself. It's
And-
just a rope tow hill, but yeah,
Calvin will be working there, so
yeah, we'll have to get over there and check it out, because
it's too bad rope tow sucks so bad for beginners, because that would be a good spot for Cassidy to learn too.
It's a fast one.
Yeah.
yeah,
I went
it's-
there once. You gotta make sure you bring rugged mittens.
Yeah.
something tough.
Yeah.
You're not gonna ruin.
You know, a complaint I have recently, I've noticed, is I went to the grocery store yesterday, and they already got the Christmas stuff out. And I know it happens every year, and I shouldn't be surprised, but why can't you just wait until the season's around? Like, I feel like it spoils it.
I wish I had taken a
The
picture.
holiday creep.
Holiday creep.
I wish I had taken a picture of when I went to Lowe's. It was
yeah.
Caleb and I went. It was before Halloween.
Yeah, this was mid-October, and the Halloween stuff was in like a dusty old corner. There was like 2 skeletons left, maybe a ghost, and then the Christmas shit was like,
Oh, they already started?
yeah, it was ape shit. There was like a 10-foot tall abominable snowman from from Rudolph.
Yeah.
But no, it is crazy. But what's funny about that, right? Like, what year did the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special come out?
Decades ago.
That
don't
came
know
out like in
exactly.
the 60s, right? That was like 1960, and that's one of the jokes is Charlie Brown's younger sister comes back from the store, and she goes, I was looking for a turkey tree, and all I could find were Christmas trees. And, that's,
It started it all.
yeah, well, it's just been a frequent theme, and it does come earlier and earlier every year, but
It seems like it, but does it?
well, what I would say is for sure Halloween starts in August now, right? Halloween is August to October, and then Christmas, if you're really into Christmas and Halloween started in August, then you're ready for Christmas before Halloween. And I don't think there's a problem with it. I mean, if you like it, why not? Like, enjoy it.
Well, I don't remember ever seeing Christmas decorations before Halloween.
Oh, come on.
I can see people like mid-November decorating for Christmas just because it takes so much work to decorate your house that to only have it up for 1 month. I mean, I guess 1 month is still a long time, but
Yeah, if you get a real tree, I think that's like the max.
yeah.
Unless you get 2 trees or something.
Yeah, you need a refresher.
Yeah.
Out with the old and with the new. No, I mean, I don't care. I think do whatever you want. You know, honestly, I get bored. Like, why do people decorate their houses so boring, like, all year round, but then it's okay for, like, certain holidays to, like, make your house fun? You know what I mean? Like,
I thought I was gonna be. Wow, I just moved out like 6 months ago, and I moved into my apartment thinking like I'm gonna be a neutrals girly. Like I had only sage and cream in my room, and I was like, this is miserable. And then I ended up with like pinks and purples and blues because it's like, why can we only have, especially now with this like modern aesthetic.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys get on like the remodeling
Yeah,
Instagram at all, where like and all the comments now are like, stop letting millennials buy homes and ruin them. Like
Yeah.
somebody took a nice spiral staircase and turned it into like just a flat. Like who wants that?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
everything's
stupid.
white.
take all the character out of everything.
Yeah.
I saw a standing mirror that looked like a knife, and then you buy a little carpet that looks like a drop of blood that goes underneath it. I thought that was great. Like, if I ever buy a standing mirror, it's going to look like a knife.
I had like other things like decorating Christmas. I saw some girl posting like, oh, when you move in with your boyfriend and like he has these like dinosaur stockings picked out, and she's like, actually we're gonna get these white ones. I'm like, get the dinosaur ones.
It's supposed to be fun. It's all about fun.
That's not fun for anyone. Just 2 white faux fur stockings.
Yeah,
Live,
I want the dino. oh, man. You know, that's one thing, like, as far as, like, decorating, like, so me, like, I have, like, an aversion to written words. Like, I don't know, call it an allergy, call it whatever you want. I don't like them. They make me uncomfortable. They make me feel othered. I don't want a bunch of written words all over the walls as art. You know what I mean? Like, put some actual art up. Like, why not a picture of a barn instead of something that says "Welcome to the barn"? You know what I mean? How about a picture of the barn instead? I'd be much more pleased.
The family rules. We laugh in this house. Excuse the mess. My favorite ones I've seen are like the ones that go in your kitchen that just say like gather, and it's like yes.
Where have I seen that? I don't know.
Like you forgot what to do or something. Oh, yeah.
Let's eat.
No, yeah, I mean, honestly, it's I was playing this game, shoot, what even game was it? I was playing some card game where you got to read words off of cards, and the word was dash hound. Can any of you guys spell that for me? Dash hound. Any guesses how that might be spelled?
Is it? Well, that's the
dog,
right?
Yeah.
Is it maybe DACHSUND?
I couldn't
That'd be
fucking
my
tell
best
you.
guess.
I couldn't fucking tell you. I had no idea what this word was on this card, and I'm trying to read it, and I'm like, I don't know. And I'm playing with like a big group of people, and I didn't want to be an idiot. And they're like, oh, pick a different card. Just pick a different card. And I'm like, no, like, oh, and I'm like, Dishahound, Dishnoun, Dishikanahan. Like, I couldn't get it. Like, you should look up the word. It's a fucked word. And anybody who tried to put that in a game, like, the game said 8 and up, okay? Like, come on, fuck you. You think an 8-year-old's gonna read that? No. And ever since then, I take offense to seeing written words in public spaces, like all over the, like, is every fucking thing a menu? Is
So-
everything a menu? Why do I gotta read everything?
Last week we found out, or I mean, I guess not last week. On Tuesday we found out you're not a numbers guy. Today we found out you're not a words guy.
What are you?
I'm a people person. I'm a man of the people. I'm a man of the stars. I'm a dreamer. I'm a thinker. I'm also a doer. I'm a believer.
I feel like we're looking at your like Tinder profile.
You're listening
a
to
man.
a Kamala Harris speech.
Oh damn! Holy shit!
He's a man of the people, for the people.
Yeah, no. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Everybody's got different things they're great at. you know, and not everybody has to be. You don't got to be like. If everybody was great at everything, right? Would we ever have the Olympics? Would we ever have the World Series of baseball? Or would every game just be 100-100 tie? You know what I mean?
Everyone would be Elon Musk.
Well, that's the issue with like, especially like young kids nowadays. It's like everyone, the participation award type deal is like, that's what like everyone has to be awarded with something all the time. You can't have people that excel at things anymore.
No, I don't
like
think I don't think I need an award for anything, but you know, like I'm certainly not gonna like go win a spelling bee, right? But I would like the winner to at least, you know, acknowledge the fact that he wouldn't have had such a triumphant victory had I not been so stupid, right? Like he also lucked out, right? You know, in a way, like it's not all him. Like you think that was all hard work, maybe in some cases, certainly. but if I had felt like it and I had wanted to work hard, maybe I could have beat him. So I think you should probably acknowledge that.
Another
But
thing
also,
about
you should be able to select what you want to work hard at. So
yeah,
You know, they say you're never going to teach a goldfish to climb trees. You ever hear that one? They try telling you that to make you feel better, but it don't feel good when you can't do math, kids.
another thing about kids' sports nowadays, I feel like, is parents. If you have like a lot of money as a parent, and you can send your kid away to like all these camps, and you can like pay for your kid to be on like this teams. Like you see it a lot with basketball.
Yeah.
Travel basketball, AAU basketball, or even like really any sport. Like you try to, like when you get to the college level, the first thing they ask you is like, oh, what was like the travel team you were on? Or what's like the like nationally ranking of your like
Or
ability?
how about this for an example? Like when I was a freshman in college, right? I met some of the freshmen on the hockey team. All the freshmen on the hockey team were 21.
Yeah.
Because they all played JV hockey until they were 21 and then enrolled in college for the eligibility.
Yeah, they reclass and
Yeah.
you can like redshirt.
It's bizarre, but yeah, it's all something like no regular person that needs to go to school and get a job is doing that shit. You know?
Yeah.
So, but you can still be an outlier. You know.
Oh yeah.
There's still a lot of outliers, and I think if you're good at something and if you do dedicate yourself to it, I think anyone can still rise to the top if you get the dedication.
Yeah. Yeah. I just feel like it's a lot harder now.
For sure. There's a bigger. The gap is a lot wider.
I feel like they also expect a lot more, especially like Tanner, you're saying, like at a really young
Yeah.
age. Like I coach for a softball team. They're 18U now, but there's kids who are like 12U that are doing the same amount. They have like 3 practices a week in the winter,
Yeah.
which is like so bizarre for like a New England softball team. Maybe if we're down south, but at like 10 years old,
Yeah.
who wants to be spending 3 hours on a Saturday at 10 years old practicing softball?
That's the thing. Yeah. Like I feel like you as a parent, you shouldn't force your kid to like, hey, if they're liking it, like, yeah, sure. But I feel like a lot of parents now they're forcing their kids, like, I want you to become a pro. Like, you gotta start training as a pro, like now. And they're in like elementary school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a weird thing because I could see forcing a kid to do something they hate. Like, you also got to think about yourself. Like, you're not going to be able to work forever. Like, maybe you spent too much money. You don't have a good retirement coming up. You're not going to be able to pay for your kid to go to college.
Banking on your kid.
Well, I mean, it's also
Get
for
to
them
work.
too. It's also for them, right? They're going to have a better life because of it. You're going to have a better life because of it. But that's something to be considered, I think, you know.
I suppose.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a fine line.
No, there is a fine line. And actually, you know, I was watching this YouTube video. This guy, Justin Scard, he does mostly like Disneyland videos, but he was loading plywood into the back of his van. And he was talking about in the video how he hurt his shoulder or something, right? And he was like, I'm not going to be loading the plywood myself. But he's got a 16-year-old son, and he goes, that's what my son's for. And his son's over there shoving the plywood in the van, and he goes, that's what you call return on investment. and I like that. I was like, oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's why there used to be families of like 10.
Right. Somebody's got to work the farm.
Yeah.
And if winter's harsh, hey,
Now you're down to
hey,
9.
buddy boy. Whoever's the youngest and most tender.
I don't know if they did that.
No, it never came to that. Dwight said so. He said it never came to that, but it was certainly on the table, I think.
Do you guys watch the Red Sox documentary on Netflix?
The 2004
Yeah.
team. Yeah.
I just watched it. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. What year is your shirt from?
This is the 2013 one.
2013, that's a good championship.
I think they won in 2018, and then 2013 was the last.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did not watch the Red Sox documentary. I know Dad watched it.
I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, there was a 30 for 30 documentary on the 2004 team that was pretty good, but that was definitely there's a lot that I didn't know that went on, like the general manager, how young he was, and it was kind of just
Well,
That's how I felt.
And did you ever see the movie Moneyball, the Moneyball movie?
With
About
Chris
the
Pratt.
A's and stuff.
Yeah.
Sarah
Jonah
was
Hill,
actually
what's
just
the other
talking
guy?
to me about that.
Brad
I've never
Pitt.
actually watched it. I've seen parts
Well,
of it.
Big movie.
the main character Moneyball was the one who that they were talking about was supposed to be the manager, and then the guy that played, or the guy Jonah Hill was playing, was the guy who ended up being the manager for the Red Sox. Or no,
Oh, really?
Yeah, or well, not the manager, but the
numbers guy or whatever.
Leo Epstein. that guy?
Well,
Yeah.
on base
so.
percentage,
Yeah.
outer catch ball,
Yeah.
a percentage number.
it ended up being Terry Francona was the general manager, right?
Yeah.
You know, I actually, in that little thing I was just saying, I just realized I'm probably the only one in the room that doesn't care about baseball. I just realized.
No.
Softball, you don't.
I don't
That
know
doesn't
the first
count.
thing about
it
baseball.
doesn't cross over.
Doesn't
apparently.
cross over at all.
No.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, fuck baseball then. Cassidy is on my side.
One thing I noticed, not to keep talking about the Red Sox, but
No, talk all you want about the Red
the
Sox.
one thing I noticed in the documentary was like how intense like the scenes were at the games, like the fans.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I feel like if you go now, it's nothing like that.
It's ruined now compared to it used to be like, well, because they were a contending team for a lot of years. They were close. They weren't ever good enough to win, but they were above a 500 team. Like they were a decent team every year. And then I think cell phones ruined the game a little bit because you notice nobody's got a phone at these games. That's kind of cool.
I agree,
Everyone's-
phones, and I think tickets are so expensive now.
Oh,
that
yeah.
people that actually
People that would throw hands
Yeah, I
over a
feel like-
baseball game, they're not attending anymore.
not as many are
Well,
attending.
also the games are so much shorter. You can't drink nearly enough beer to like be ready to fist
Well,
fight.
and it was really the 2004 team there. It was really kind of a special time because they hadn't won.
Yeah.
They hadn't broke the curse, so
Well,
it was all
and-
about breaking the curse.
And the 2003 season leading up to it, they can't. It was a close battle. They almost.
Yeah, but that goes along with it just breaking the curse. That's why both seasons were so intense because
Yeah.
they were trying to they were trying to win the World Series, beat the big bad Yankees who were winning everything.
yeah.
So it was.
The team was totally different too. Like I don't know how much. Did you watch a lot of Red Sox this year?
I watched like a little bit, but I don't know hardly any of the players. Like I know Rafael Devers,
Yeah.
and other than that, that's about it.
They have a couple other good players. Jaron Duran was really good
Oh,
for them
yeah.
this year. But one thing that you notice watching that documentary is how all those guys, how close they all were to each
Yeah.
other. They were all out there playing for each other. It was like more like a little league team. They were all close friends. They'd go out and party. One of the stories that they told was, I think in New York, it was New York. They won the game, left the stadium in their cleats, walked down the street to the bar, went in the bar, and they were all standing on the bar, getting
Yeah.
hammered after the game. But there was a lot of camaraderie anyway on the team, and you don't see that at all with the Red Sox. Now, I think they had an all right team this year, but they don't play for each other. They're all that's another thing that these rec sports, the camps, the travel teams, it ruins for all these kids is they're all stars. All these kids are out there being an all-star playing for themselves. They're not playing for the team.
Yeah, they don't live in the same town. They all go on a team for like 1 year, and then they'll change teams the next year.
Yeah, so
Same thing with pros. Like I feel like it's hard. You don't see many pros that like they keep their whole career at one team.
Yeah,
across any sport, really.
Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty rare anyway.
Yeah.
If you guys, Patrick Mahomes.
Don't be a hater. You're just jealous. You know, that goes back to us being lifelong Patriots fans and growing up with Tom Brady. You know, like everyone hated, like everywhere else you went in the country, everyone's like, fuck Tom Brady, the guy's a cheater. Him and Belichick, they're both cheaters. They're both assholes and cheaters, you know? Yeah. And we're like, no, they're the greatest. He's the GOAT. Well,
he was.
Sons of Belichick. Come on, guys. But you know, but now I kind of I kind of get it now, right? I want to hate the Chiefs, but maybe they're just the best team right now.
You know, one of the things that really makes me hate the Chiefs, though, is because
Taylor Swift.
Well, yeah, I could care less honestly about Taylor Swift. Well, I really, it doesn't bother me one way or the other. What all the announcers, they were always against Tom Brady, like Tom Brady,
because he was a cheater.
Well, that's what. Yeah,
of course.
But
Deflategate.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, you're telling me that a slightly less deflated football made that much difference in the world, made Tom Brady win 7 Super Bowls? I don't think so. Well, all I'm trying to say is that when you watch a Chiefs game, literally the announcers are just blowing Patrick
Chris Collins
Mahomes.
got a bad Patrick Mahomes.
Or Tony Romo. They both want to blow Patrick
Tony
Mahomes.
Romo.
And it's very difficult to watch these games where the Chiefs are playing. And I'm not saying Patrick Mahomes is bad, but when they talk about how he's better than Tom Brady, I don't think he's better than Tom Brady.
Not yet.
I think he's still got stuff to prove.
Yeah, for sure he's got stuff to prove. You know, if you want to say he's better than Tom Brady, yeah, he's got some things on the list to knock out for sure. But is he the best? Is he the best guy on the football pitch this season?
Obviously, he has to be because the Chiefs are undefeated. So
yeah, that's what I mean. You know, I don't think
9-0 right now.
I don't think as far as anybody that's playing right now, I don't think you can make much of a comparison.
I'm rooting for the Lions.
Big Lions guy?
I get their TikToks all the time.
Okay.
Their head coach, Dan Campbell, he's an ex-player.
Oh, yeah.
And he does the post-game speeches and gives out game balls.
Yeah.
And I like watching it. Because the Lions were terrible.
You're right.
For years and years and years.
They're one of the Thanksgiving Day teams, right?
Yeah.
That's the only reason I know the Lions.
Yeah, they
play
went
on
one
Thanksgiving.
season without winning a game. I think. But yeah, here's Dan Camp. I don't know if this is on stream.
Yeah, I'll pull it up in a second.
But
Don't get us banned for putting NFL shit on here. If it's on TikTok, we can probably play his TikToks.
yeah, a
Dan
lot of
Campbell
it is on
TikToks.
TikTok. But they just seem like the 2004 Red Sox you were just talking about, how they all feel like a group, of like a brotherhood almost kind of deal. And I feel like they got that going on, and they're kind of like the underdogs. I know they were good last year, but it's just like a feel-good story if they win.
Yeah,
Plus Eminem goes to all the games.
Oh, because Detroit.
I just, I want to go home, put the feet up, drink a beer, and just, listen. Of course it feels great. I'll be honest with you, I'm exhausted. So, I just, I want to go home, put the feet up, drink a beer, and
Seems like a charismatic type of guy.
listen. Of course.
The ones that I get, they're like in the locker room. I don't know.
Oh yeah, like a speech, like a
Yeah.
pump them up from the locker room type of thing.
that's one thing that's hard with TikTok and
To find
Reels.
specific videos.
when you, I mean, I see the same things over and over and over again. But if I wanted to look up that clip or that sound, it's
gone.
very
I'll
difficult.
I'll tell
too.
you when it's not hard to find is the Costco guys. Those guys are all over my feed. Costco guys and the Rizzler.
Have you ever been to Costco?
I've not ever, so We are a BJ's family. We would not tread in Costco. Berkeley and Jensen or bust. So
Is there even a Costco in New Hampshire?
I think there is. I just don't know where.
Yeah, there's one in
Did they really only
Concord, I
make-
think.
Did they really only make 3,000 of those speeders?
So Carter's pulling up some YouTube stuff, and Justin Scard, this guy I mentioned earlier, he's got a YouTube video unboxing a toy version of a Disneyland Star Wars space craft
Star Tours.
Star Tours thing. And did they only make 3,000 of them? My guess is probably yes. Justin would know better than I would.
I mean, that I've never seen one.
Probably that specific
that
thing, you know.
before.
Yeah, it's probably a pretty specific niche item. Probably only 3,000. You
They
pulling
had-
this on stream?
I'll just.
We'll throw it up. You guys can get a good flavor of Justin Scard here. See what you think. He's not for everybody. Kind of sounds like SpongeBob, but yeah, this little Star Tours vehicle. This looks like something from the 90s, maybe. Oh, it's got Rex as the captain, so certainly this is early, original Star Tours.
Or my grandparents' generation, to go on this ride, to be in a Star Wars, to step inside of a Hollywood
They had all kinds of them when we were
sci-fi
there.
movie was absolutely.
I've
insane.
seen
Look at
different
the
toys of
size
this,
of
but
this
I don't
thing.
think I've seen this one.
Enormous
Maybe this is-
7-year-old me is actually losing his mind
All right, that's good.
somewhere in here. By now.
I've never seen that before. So
They had a bunch of them when we were in when we were just
one
there.
that big.
Yeah.
Not, it definitely would not be this exact one because this has Captain Rex as the pilot, which is the original Star Tours pilot, which hasn't been the pilot since we've been alive. But or at least not since I remember going and riding Star Tours at.
Now we saw that.
That guy there's Captain Rex.
Yeah,
He was
he's still
there.
there. No, he's still there. He's there waiting in the queue. He's also the DJ in Galaxy's Edge now. But since
I thought when we first started
since
riding it.
since we've been riding, it's always been C-3PO. I mean, unless you can remember from our trip in 2005, if you remember anything from that, I don't remember anything from that trip. But the first time I remember Star Tours, C-3PO was driving it.
You ever think about going back to Disney, Tanner?
I'm not against it. If I did, I wouldn't want to go like a week-long thing at Disney. I'd want to check out like Universal and like
Check it all out.
yeah, because when we went, I was in 6th grade.
Yep.
Like you're 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was old enough to like remember it, and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, never been back. We didn't do any of the other parks like outside Disney.
Yeah.
What
the other
what?
movies.
How many parks at Disney did you do?
I think we did all of them.
Yeah,
We did like Epcot, Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom.
Hollywood.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
'cause-
Yeah. You hit them all.
yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah, I always feel like I don't get enough time in Disney World when I'm there, and I do want to go see Universal, but also I feel like I never get enough time at Disney when I'm there.
I guess I would like to go back as like an adult. It might be a different experience.
I'll tell you, it is a lot different, and I definitely don't. I almost wish, like, I'm happy to go back every time I go back, but it also like dilutes your childhood memories of it to an extent. Like, I really loved the place as a kid, and now as an adult, like each time I go back, it's like they're grinding you down a little bit more.
Well, yeah.
Pushing me a little bit further away, and it does start to kind of taint its legacy in my mind a little bit.
Yeah.
But that being said, getting drunk in Galaxy's Edge is actually pretty fun. So
That's the thing. I see like a lot of I don't know if it's TikTok or YouTube, but people do like drink around the world
yeah,
in Epcot and stuff, and they're just like hammered. in Disney. It's like,
yeah,
is that like
Jojo
acceptable?
Siwa. No, it's really not.
Yeah.
It's you got to keep it pretty classy.
I would think so.
Yeah, there's kids everywhere.
Yeah.
You can't be vomiting. If you start vomiting, I bet you'd get swept away pretty quick.
Yeah.
I saw a few people getting rowdy in Epcot when I was there, and you saw it for a second, but it didn't last long. Like, it was like a big bridal party, and they were getting like really trashed and rowdy, and it just didn't last long. I don't know exactly what happened, but
They disappeared.
they disappeared. It fizzled out, you know.
Speaking of going around the world, would you go on another ski trip abroad?
Oh yeah.
Tanner's a
not?
world traveler.
That was
I,
worth it.
Yeah, I went to Chile in August and tried out summer skiing.
Yeah,
Or
that's
when
pretty
it's summer
cool.
here and it's winter down there because
Right.
southern hemisphere. And I would recommend it to anybody thinking about it. Um, I thought like the hardest part is just like committing to it. Like you can think about it and like, oh, it's gonna be like so hard planning it. It's like not really that bad. Like they want you to come, so like they make it as easy as possible. And people were saying like, oh, you're gonna go to South America. Like isn't it dangerous there? And
Hey, I got friends in Chile, so I think it's a nice place.
yeah, I'm sure some areas, obviously some areas are not good, but Chile is like the most like first world country out of South America, and especially like all the touristy areas, nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah, nothing bad's gonna happen.
What was the
there.
travel day like? How long of a travel day was it?
It's like a full day. Usually it's like overnight flights. So you leave in like the evening here and then you get there in the morning. The one good thing was they're in the same time zone as us,
Yeah.
but you wouldn't think so because they're on like the west coast of South America and we're on the east coast.
Yeah.
But
But that's how circles, like that's how spheres work, right?
yeah, it just works out that way.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
You go left, it's long. You go right, it's short.
But
That's crazy.
yeah, no, I'd like to check out Europe definitely next. I think.
Chamonix is always,
Chamonix.
it's been the fabled place since we were young. That's
that
where
in
our grandmother
France?
went. Yeah,
Yeah.
glaciers and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's getting later here. Do we got a result on the Paul Tyson fight? Anything happen yet?
No, they're expected to be on around 11 o'clock. That's when they're supposed to be
Jesus
going.
Christ.
That's when they expect to be going to the ring. is
Yeah,
what it
so
says.
I'm hopefully you guys stayed and watched our show instead because you want to. I mean, how much of this Netflix nonsense you want to sit through?
They say that it's. I mean, it looks like the card. It sounded like it was supposed to be pretty good. Whoever else was fighting, it's supposed to be some pretty good other matches. And what they were also saying, because they were streaming on YouTube before they were going to Netflix at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, it was a hard switch to Netflix only, and it was like all these fighters. It was Super Bowl audience, so all these fighters were going harder than they may have normally would, just because they know
Big audience.
they know how many more people are watching compared
Well,
to
you
a
can
normal
get some
fight.
sponsorships out of it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, if it's starting at 11 o'clock, I don't think I'll. I'll find out in the morning for sure. Just kind of.
Come on,
Yeah,
it's only
I mean,
2
really.
hours away.
2 hours away. All right, guys, get your popcorn, get your soda, get camped out, get a comfortable seat on the couch because we're gonna stay here for the next 2 hours until the fight starts. We're not going anywhere. Cassidy, get comfortable. I know it's your first pod, but it's gonna be a long one. You're locked in now. You're not going anywhere. No, I mean honestly, I think we're capping here. We're done, right? We're
Yeah,
done. We're done.
yeah.
I don't think I used capping right, but we're capping here. We're gonna cap
hour
the
and 20
episode
minutes.
off.
That's a pretty good.
Yep.
flow.
Hour 20. Hey, we're coming off the heels of the Zach Bryan episode. I don't know if it was Allie's star power or just the clickbait, but that got more views than anything to date. Maybe we throw in something about the Paul Tyson fight in the title of this one and see if that'll do any numbers. But I doubt it. So thanks for watching. Thank you, Tanner and Cassidy, for being here for this episode.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
anytime, guys, anytime. A lot of times on Friday it's just me and Carter. No one else is around. If we got more people out there, if you're out in the world and you're saying to yourself, "Hey, I know these guys. I wonder if they'd let me be on the podcast." The answer is yeah, we'd let you be on.
Yeah.
You just gotta, you gotta express interest. I've had other people that I thought might want to be on, and I asked them, and they expressed no interest. As a matter of fact, there's one person, I won't mention who, but if you're listening, you know who you are. I asked you specifically. I said, when you want to come on, and you just said, we'll figure something out. So if you wanted to say no, you could have just said no, but instead you can live with the guilt and shame. Because once we're doing numbers on this shit, don't think anyone's just gonna waltz in here. So thank you guys for being here now when we need the help. Don't come Don't come knocking on my door once we start doing numbers, because guess what? That's what I'm gonna tell you, man. Get in on the ground floor, or don't fucking bother, because that's what we're about. I respect loyalty, and I respect you if you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on notifications, and yeah, we'll get the heck out of here. Let you enjoy your Friday.